Another Cardano news update for you guys. Lots to cover here in the ecosystem. We've got some other news from other blockchains as well. This Solana ad didn't go too well. We also look into scaling on Cardano at the moment, some projects ending in the Cardano ecosystem, as well as VCs coming in, governance, and a lot more. All that coming right up for you guys. Hi everyone, I'm Peter Bury. If it's your first time here, make sure you hit that thumbs up, like, subscribe. I managed to get my camera working again. So for any of those regulars, it's finally up and running again. I do need to get a new one. It's having some issues, but let's get into these news updates. This first one here is around this Solana ad, and they had to pull it because of the backlash that they got from it. Now, I'm not going to go into the details here about what was in the ad, but essentially, it didn't really resonate with how the Solana community saw their blockchain, a blockchain for everyone, and it didn't go down too well. A lot of people that posted, retweeted, and all that had to pull all of their promotions of it. So, I love Solana's advertising. I have to admit, what they do in the ecosystem overall is really good. Their ads, they're creative, their messaging is good. But this ad here was absolutely shocking. This is the worst one I've seen. They've gone a little political here, and it didn't really go too well. And thankfully, the community there pulled it, gave it the heat that it needed, and we'll hopefully never see anything like that again. But links down below for you guys so you can check all that out to get a better understanding. If you didn't see any of that, what's going on. I thought this update here was quite interesting, and this is around the SEC's approach to blockchain. So things are changing with the Bitcoin reserve coming into play. So that's signed in as an executive order. We're seeing the other assets here, XRP, Solana, and Cardano also being looked at as well. And this was quite an interesting summary or clarification on the crypto strategy. And if we have a look at what they said about Cardano specifically, best suited for academic credentialing, smart contracts for government services, and secure infrastructure management. So it really does look like the governing bodies here are looking into using blockchain for government level infrastructure. So the strategic takeaway here, Solana and Cardano should be integrated into US digital infrastructure, but not included in the reserve strategy. Instead, they can enhance efficiency, security, and state applications, while XRP remains the key asset for financial transactions. So this is good. This is good. This is some clarity on how the strategic reserve may be used, how blockchain will be used in the US government. And this is, if it does, that's brilliant because it's the first step forward for a government level adoption of blockchain tech. Now, it'll be nice if they bought up ADA and put it in the reserve as well, or maybe they are. It's not very clear. Using the tech itself is just a really good step forward, a big step forward, really. So hopefully we do see more of this, more news around the government agencies potentially using blockchain tech in general, because I think it's a brilliant use case for it. And we may see more information about this coming up very soon. This news story here I thought was pretty cool. And this is the development of L2s on the Cardano ecosystem. And Midgard is one of those projects that is promising a lot. And they have reached a milestone. One of their repos is now public to users, and we can have a look at what the teams have been working on. But this is the first iteration, public iteration release of Midgard. For those that don't know, Midgard is an L2 for Cardano, an optimistic rollup. And this should bring scalability to the Cardano ecosystem and in a way that makes it really easy. So any of the dApps that are built on Cardano at the moment will be able to deploy on the L2 with minimal changes. So they'll need to configure where it's pointing to, obviously, but being able to take advantage of the L2 and its scalability features, making transactions faster and everything else around it, while still taking advantage of Cardano's L1 for its security is the idea and concept here. So Midgard is absolutely kicking goals, and there's a lot of good people working on this. And they've now released a version that people can start playing around with. So this is brilliant. This is a big milestone for the team and project. So we're going to look forward to seeing what else comes out of Midgard. There are plenty of videos and interviews from the Midgard team as well. So I'll put links down below so that you can find out a little bit more about it. Now, another project that is building some really cool infrastructure level stuff on the ecosystem is Endcoins. They're going down the zero knowledge path and they're working on zkFold Symbolic. And this is another scaling solution, a zero knowledge proof solution for the ecosystem. I haven't gone through this particular update in detail, but I thought I'd give them a big shout out because they're continuously working hard on what they're trying to do in the background there, and they don't get much reach. So I thought I'd give them a big shout out. And if anyone's interested in this one, if anyone is a part of the Endcoins ecosystem, got their tokens, do check this one out as well. This update gives you a really good idea of what they've been working on over the last 6 months. Now, with the good news, we also have some bad news, and this comes in the form of Emurgo closing up the Emurgo Academy. Now, this has been an education process for the Cardano ecosystem, onboarding developers in, and they state here, after careful consideration and over 6 years of providing educational courses for the Cardano community, we've decided to close Emurgo Academy on March 31st this year, as we align with Emurgo's global objectives in the age of Voltaire. So it's unfortunate. I know Emurgo have put through many developers over the years through their course, but maybe there isn't enough desire for this particular course and academy that they've been running. But hopefully we do see some of this content that they've been producing open source, and maybe we'll see it in the community somewhere. Jonathan here from Anastasia Labs. I had an awesome time being part of the journey to teach the future Cardano developers. I met some incredible people, both students and the amazing team who were there from the start of Emurgo Academy. I put together a 20 lesson series for the Cardano Solutions Architect, and I really think we at Anastasia Labs should make it open source. And I would love to see this course open sourced, put online for others to take up, others to teach other developers in the ecosystem, run their own smaller courses, run it in countries that don't have access to the required funds to attend this Emurgo Academy. I think when I looked into it, I was considering it. It's in the thousands of dollars to be a part of that academy. So a lot of countries wouldn't have been able to be a part of that process because of the financial burden it would have put on them. So open sourcing this and allowing other countries, other people to start teaching the content, I think would be absolutely brilliant. And more Cardano solutions architects out there, I think are definitely needed. So education is definitely the key here. Hopefully we do see this become open source and more people be able to pick it up and share it out with the world. The other thing that we're seeing finishing up at the moment is Axo. So Axo's that programmable smart contracts that was building on Cardano, and they built up their open order book decks. And, it was great. Technologically wise, it was an absolutely brilliant solution. And for any big traders out there, I think it would have been a really good platform. But unfortunately, they did announce that they're closing up. This is their big post that says they're going to cease operations. I don't know if everyone got the message about this, but if you have any sort of orders open on Axo, you will need to close them before the end of the day. They're looking at ways to refund people and move those funds back to the rightful owners. But if you have anything, you need to exit now, like right after this video. As soon as you watch it, exit any positions you have, get rid of any of your assets, because after this, it's pretty much shut shop. And you won't be able to be a part of their ecosystem anymore. It'll be great to see if any of this can be open source, if they're willing to open source any of it, any of the on-chain code, any of the off-chain code, because the community that have, invested in them, essentially with any of the ADA that they've staked with them, any of the support, any NFTs that they've purchased over the years, whatever it might be. Axo tokens, I should mention as well. Whatever it is, it feels like it should be open to the community as well. If you put your valuable ADA to the project, can we get something in return? That's what I'm saying. So hopefully we do see something get open source, something given back to the community as well. We may not. It's their company. They can do what they want. But anything for the community to keep things going would be a nice thing. But anyway, Axo's closing up, links, references, everything down below. Hopefully it hasn't affected any of my viewers out there too badly. But yeah, unfortunately, it's another project closing up on the Cardano ecosystem. Now, on the flip side, we do have some real diamonds in the rough here. We have some projects that are shining beacons in the ecosystem, and Igon is one of them. And this thing here, Venture Hub, which the Cardano Foundation is working on at the moment. So this is like their little startup thing that the foundation are doing. So this is it. I'll put links down below so you can read into this and get a better understanding of how it all works and what they're doing. But this is the first cohort that's going through. We've got LW3 India. We've got Socius DAO. We have Adamio platform. We have zkFold and Igon as well. So this is a brilliant selection of projects that are building on Cardano, going through their Venture Hub, the Cardano Foundation's Venture Hub. So this, I'd like to see what comes out of this. I didn't really catch on with this one when they first announced it. Maybe I should have applied for this one as well. Might have been good to get some highlights for some of the stuff that I'm doing as well. But, you know, next time. And if you guys are interested in anything around this, check out the Venture Hub here. I'll put links down below. You can find out a little bit more about it and how possibly you could be a part of it. Now, another really cool thing is this hackathon that NMaker are doing. This is a 10K USDM is on the table. 3 winning teams will take home the prize at Masumi Hackathon in San Fran. This is their whole AI side of things. So they've got Masumi Network, which is their AI marketplace platform, and they're using Crew AI to build AI agents. So if you're interested in any of that, I started playing around with some of this and trying to see if I could make some tools to help with some of the stuff that we're doing, and it may be pretty good. So if you're interested in this, if you got a cool idea, 10K is on the table there, and you know, if there's money on the table, take it. I'll put links down below so you can find out a little bit more about this, but the registration for this is coming up really soon, the end date for this. So make sure you check this one out really, really soon if you're interested in it. Now, on the governance side of things, governance is quite interesting on Cardano. It's always evolving and changing. And this is pretty cool. This is a brand new project that has launched just recently. This is governancespace.com. I didn't like seeing GovTools being the only website where you could delegate DREPs or find DREPs or anything like that. And you know, that because of the centralization of it. Now this is another alternative. Governance Space allows you to search for all of the DREPs out there. It lets you look at governance actions, proposals, everything that's on chain. So everything that you expect on the GovTools website is now also on Governance Space. I'll put links down below for you guys. But you can search for a DREP and get all the information that you need and delegate to the DREP directly from this website as well. So it's good to have alternatives. We don't have that centralization of governance in the ecosystem. Now, I'm trying to work on something as well to get these transactions for delegating to a DREP working on Cardano Press. So that way, all the DREPs out there will be able to build their own WordPress website and have a connect and delegate button on their own website. So what's better than, you know, it's a great way to promote yourself. So you can create a little mini site with a WordPress powered site, have your DREP credentials on there, have your connect button, connect up to your DREP ID, and hey presto, there you go. You've got a little page to promote and market yourself as a DREP in the Cardano ecosystem. So this here is brilliant, and hopefully we can bring in some other things as well to make DREPs more visible within the ecosystem. Now, with all the DREP stuff, there is a new governance action that's on chain at the moment, and this is the net change limit. I haven't gone too deep in this one. We've got about a month to vote on this one, but people have already gone through and given their rationales and everything around it as well. So if you want to learn more about it, I'll just put links down below at the moment. I'm not going to vote until the last final week or last epoch before this one ends. That way I can gather as much information as possible and get a better understanding of what the whole net change limit is. But essentially, this is something that will limit the amount of ADA that goes out through the treasury and governance process. They're trying to keep a sustainable treasury in the ecosystem. So That's the overall premise, but I'll go through it in more detail in upcoming videos. One of the other things that was brought up from this particular governance action was that we should probably look into a more templated way of uploading and submitting governance actions. So this particular governance action that was submitted, there was a little bit of a quirk to it in that it wasn't linked to a immutable version of the proposal. And as a result, they could tweak and change it and you wouldn't really know. So in the future, I'd love to see this be templated. So let me just read this for you. Not sure who, but either Intersect or CF, or maybe even Civics, need to develop templates to help people submit GAs, governance actions, correctly according to the Constitution. If GAs are not passing solely on technical instead of merit, we're doing something wrong as a community. And I totally agree with that. I haven't looked into the submission process for a GA yet, but I've seen other people do it all via command line. And if you do a mistake in there, it will be rather costly. It does cost 100,000 ADA to submit a governance action at the moment. That is a deposit and you do get that back. But if you make a mistake and you need to resubmit it again, it's another 100,000 ADA and that gets locked away for a while. So, getting this template right and getting the submissions right, I think is really key, and improving that user experience to make it a little bit better. But we'll see over time. I'm sure someone is working on that already, and we'll see a lot of useful tools and scripts to make that whole process a lot easier. Another really important thing is that Cardano budget proposal submissions are now open. So this is the ability for anyone to put in a budget proposal and have the community vote on it. So this, let me just pull up the roadmap so you get a better understanding of what's going on here. So early March, access all proposals submitting for funding. So this is where we're at the moment. So anyone can now submit proposals for funding, and you can do so via the Intersect website here. It's a lengthy process. It's a long form here, but there is a lot that you need to detail. You are asking for funding from the community. So this may be anything from creating meetups, events, whatever it might be, as long as it aligns with the budget goals and everything that's happening in the ecosystem at the moment. But you can submit your proposals here. And I may put something in for Cardano events here in Australia, and maybe something that I'm working on as well. So this is now the process that we have at the moment. So we've got key dates here. So late March, we have the cutoff of proposal funding submissions. So at the moment, our time of recording, it's the 19th of March. So you don't have much time. So please, if you are interested in Cardano funding, go through this form, make sure you have everything filled in, and then allow the community to vote for it. It's coming up very, very soon. Now, just a couple of more news updates for you guys. This here is the Brisbane Meetup coming up tomorrow, Thursday, 20th of March. It's a bit small at the moment. We don't have too many people. I haven't run a meetup in quite a long time. And when that happens, when you don't run them on a regular basis, people tend to drop off. But this is going to be a good one because I can cater for a little bit of it. I can get a couple of pizzas and beers for anyone that attends. So if you are in the Brisbane area, please do come along. It's been a while since we've caught up and been up to date with everything that's happening in the Cardano ecosystem. So come along, links down below to the meetup page. Now, this last news story here, this is just a bit of a shout out for Claymates. I've never really seen the behind the scenes work that the Claymates do to create some of these animations, but this is insane. So this is a time lapse of creating this claymation animation. And the amount of time and effort that goes into creating all this stuff. So amazing work from the team there, and I absolutely love the Claymates project. So if you haven't checked that one out, again, links down below for you guys. All right, that's all I have for you guys in this particular news update. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell on your way out. If you want all the links and references, you can find that at learncardano.io. You can also find out more information about our stake pool, my DREP ID, and also Cardano Press. Everything is all there for you guys. I'll catch you in the next video.